Hello team. Today I'm gonna instead of kind of typing up the market recap, I'm gonna share this video. A lot of you were kind of asking, why did I call out 5090 and 5095 on the SPX as potential pivot levels? So let's get into that. So before I even jump into the SPX chart, I want to review the ES chart. Again, I preach to you all, if you don't have the ES chart and you're not charting it, you're doing it wrong. There's a lot of valuable information, especially from a volume profile, but obviously then from an overnight action, a lot of data that you're able to gather. Uh, so essentially what I typically do here is just like the SPX, I mark my volume profiles. I'll do the daily volume profile. I'll do the weekly volume profile as well. For those of you on TradingView, I'll use folders so that I can quickly flip on a certain level or a certain volume profile. All the data is there, and if I want something super clean, I can immediately turn everything else off. Additionally, the other thing I will mark are basically the futures overnight high and low. So you can see here the low overnight was at 50.87, and then the high was 51.08, just a little bit before the regular session opening. So roughly it's about a 12-point difference between the SPX, or 11-point difference between the SPX and ES. So subtract 12 points. So, you essentially get right around, this is the high of 50.95 here, and you take another 12 points-ish off here, right? And that gets you to 50.75 roughly. So essentially, some of our trade plan has played out overnight, you can say, right? We hit the, we rejected, we hit the low, 50.75. That bounced back up to go target to the top there, and we rejected kind of our key pivot level, that 50.95 level, to the upside. And then, as you can see throughout the day, we sold back. We kind of consolidated back near the overnight lows. We're finally, before the end of the day, bloop, off we go. And we're kind of trading down a little bit more, almost like a bearish pennant here forming for a little bit more downside. But now let's, the other thing I want to call out as you're looking at the ES chart. So let's look at the weekly chart. So the one thing that was interesting is that we came down, tested basically last week's value area high, maintained as support. We then bounced back up and then back down. So where did we further then? Was there a daily? Okay, so let's look at the daily volume profile. So you can see Friday's POC, or the point of control, was right here at 51.02, and then its value area high here was 51.10. So essentially, price came, tested the weekly value area high, we held it, we then started to go back up, we accepted last Friday's value area low, we then accepted its point of control, and then as we neared its VA, we got rejected again, we rejected the POC, and then off we went down. So a little, in terms of how you can play the volume profile there between weekly and daily volume profile levels. Let me now bounce over into the SPX chart. So same thing here with the SPX chart, right? I kind of, called out at the beginning of the day that, 50.95 is kind of that critical level. And if you notice here, yes, we breached above it. So, hey, why didn't I go long? Well, first of all, as I mentioned, let's now go to the 5-minute chart here really quickly. Basically, so we opened And as I mentioned, on a news day, I kind of want to wait to see what the news does. And so, the first level of rejection was basically 50.95. I mean, it happened here. And you can see, you know, on a closing candle, obviously the first 5 minute candle, I'm not going to react immediately. I want to see what occurs. But then as we got to the second candle, we closed below 50.95, right? And then as we went further down, you can see we're consolidating, consolidating, consolidating. The news hits, market doesn't like it, pushes back down. We consolidate, 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 and then we get another push down. For those of you with kind of like the Sonar Labs, these are breaks of structure, right? So if you notice, regardless of what the time frame is, you can kind of see as it does this, you break that structure, and there's going to be, so essentially here was the structure at the low 50.86. It breaks and it flushes down. And then we've got another change of character here, which is basically this was the low. It held, right? It held, held, held. And then towards the end of the day, we broke this change of character, which was a support level that was pushing and keeping price up, right? Did multiple times here. So here it finally broke. So that changes the character on this time frame. And then on top of that, we broke a structure here again, and we pushed down. So all in all, I'm sharing here, these key levels are of importance. Marking them down, if I go back to my SPX chart here, like I said, it's ES, it's SPX, I chart, I have my Vanna levels, so I know, if I want at a glance what the options market is. As this changes intraday, I can come in here and, I can simply drag them up and down if I wanted to. On top of that, then, I have my weekly expected move. Where are those? So those are those figures. Then we've got our volume profiles. On my daily volume profile levels here, you can kind of see, right, price came in and tested Friday's value area high, and then we broke down and came below the value area low, tested it again, so this was another short opportunity, and then we finally broke the previous day's low, tried to test it again, it failed, break down below, and then we tried to test it at the end of the day and broke down below. So these are how you can kind of, let's say, add the daily volume profile levels. You can then also see the weekly profile. We basically opened up above the point of control, but immediately lost it. So next area from a weekly profile target is this 50-40 zone right here, and then we kind of head back towards this 50-22 zone. I hope that was informative. Apologies if a couple areas kind of got a little messed up there, but I hope this was informative. Definitely give a like, a heart, or I don't like this feedback when you get a chance to view this. Thank you.